Have you ever gazed at the pyramids and wondered about the beliefs of the people who built them? What gods did they worship? What stories did they tell? Ancient Egypt wasn't just about pharaohs and mummies. It was a world teeming with powerful gods, intricate rituals, and epic myths that shaped every aspect of life and death. Today, we're journeying back in time to uncover the secrets of the Egyptian pantheon. From the creator sun god Ra to the lord of the underworld of Osiris, get ready to meet the deities who ruled over the land of the Nile for thousands of years. The Egyptian pantheon is vast and fascinating, with hundreds of gods and goddesses, each with their own unique roles and responsibilities. At the very top was Ra, the sun god, the creator of all things. Every day, he would sail across the sky in his solar bark, bringing light and life to the world. At night, he'd journey through the underworld, battling forces of chaos, like the giant serpent ape, to ensure the sun would rise again. The Egyptians saw this daily cycle as a symbol of order, triumphing over chaos, a core concept in their worldview. But Ra wasn't alone. The pantheon was like a grand, divine family. Take the story of Osiris, one of the most important myths in Egyptian religion. Osiris was a wise and just king who ruled over Egypt, teaching humanity, agriculture, and law. He was beloved by all, except for his jealous brother. Set, the god of chaos and the desert, Set tricked Osiris, trapped him in a chest, and cast it into the Nile. Osiris's devoted wife, Isis, a powerful goddess of magic and motherhood, was heartbroken. She searched tirelessly for her husband's body. After finding it, she used her magic to bring him back to life, just long enough to conceive their son, Horus. But Set's treachery wasn't over. He found Osiris again, dismembered his body, and scattered the pieces all across Egypt. Once again, the determined Isis, with the help of her sister Nephthys, gathered every piece of Osiris. With the help of Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification, they wrapped Osiris's body, creating the very first mummy. This act transformed Osiris. He could no longer rule in the land of the living, but he became the powerful and respected king of the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. He became the judge of the dead, offering eternal life to those who were deemed worthy. This myth is crucial because it explains so much about Egyptian beliefs. It explains the concept of the afterlife, the importance of mummification, and the divine right of the pharaohs. The son of Isis and Osiris, Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky, grew up to avenge his father. After a series of epic battles with his uncle Set, Horus emerged victorious and became the rightful ruler of Egypt. From then on, every pharaoh was considered the living embodiment of Horus, connecting the earthly ruler directly to the divine. So, how did the average Egyptian interact with these gods? Religion wasn't just something for Sundays. It was woven into the fabric of daily life. People would wear amulets for protection, like the Ankh for life, or the Eye of Horus for healing and safety. Small household altars were common, where families would leave offerings of food and drink for their favorite deities, asking for blessings, good health, or a successful harvest. On a grander scale, there were the magnificent temples. These weren't just places of worship. They were considered the literal homes of the gods on earth. Places like Karnak or Luxor were massive complexes run by an army of priests and priestesses. The innermost sanctuary of each temple housed a statue of the god. It was believed that the god's spirit, or Sakah, could inhabit this statue. Daily rituals were performed by priests to care for the god. They would wake the statue in the morning, wash and dress it in fine linen, adorn it with jewelry, and offer it the finest food and drink. Of course, the god didn't physically eat the food. They were believed to consume its spiritual essence, and the physical food was then redistributed to the temple staff. This daily care was essential to maintaining divine order, balance, and justice that held the universe together. Major festivals were huge public events. During the Opet festival at Thebes, the statues of the gods, Amun, Mut, and Khunsu were carried in a grand procession from the temple of Karnak to the temple of Luxor. This was one of the few times the general public could feel close to their gods, who were normally hidden away in the temple sanctuary. It was a time of feasting, music, and celebration, reinforcing the community's bond with the divine and the pharaoh. Let's not forget the journey to the afterlife. The Egyptians had an incredibly detailed vision of what happened after death. For them, death wasn't an end, but a transition. The goal was to reach the field of reeds, a paradise much like Egypt itself, but without sickness, sorrow, or hard labor. To get there, the deceased soul had to navigate the dangerous underworld, guided by spells from the Book of the Dead. The final test was the weighing of the heart ceremony, presided over by Osiris. The deceased's heart was placed on a scale against the feather of Mat, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart, which the Egyptians believed held the record of all one's deeds, was lighter than the feather, the person was declared true of voice and granted entry into the afterlife. But if the heart was heavy with sin, it was devoured by a terrifying creature named Ammit, part crocodile, part lion, part hippopotamus and this belief heavily influenced behavior in life. As everyone hoped to have a light heart at their final judgment, the Egyptian pantheon was dynamic. Over thousands of years, gods rose and fell in importance. In the New Kingdom, the local god of Thebes, Amun, was merged with Ra to become Amun-Ra, the king of the gods, reflecting the political power of Thebes. There was even a brief, radical period of monotheism under the pharaoh Akhenaten, who declared that there was only one god. The Atan, represented as a solar disk. But after his death, the old gods were swiftly restored. From the daily sunrise to the hope of an eternal paradise, the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt provided a framework for understanding the world. Their stories of creation, struggle, and rebirth gave meaning to life and offered comfort in the face of death. They weren't just distant figures. They were active participants in the world, shaping destinies and upholding the very fabric of the cosmos. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of Egyptian mythology. It's a world so rich and complex, we've only just scratched the surface. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more ancient mysteries, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which Egyptian god or goddess you find most fascinating. Until next time, stay curious.